Have you ever wanted to play a game that feels like it was made by a marine biologist? Anyone who wanted to make a game that maybe only marine biologists would enjoy? Because to me, that is exactly what Beyond Blue After the Storm felt like. I think it's a game, but I'm not sure. Maybe more of an educational experience with gameplay elements. But its true purpose is to make you fall in love with the ocean and hope that you get excited about saving it. If you're new here, I do a lot of reviews, both big and small, and it's my goal to inform you and not necessarily entertain you. And if that's your thing, consider subscribing. As for Beyond Blue, well, it just didn't really entertain me. If Beyond Blue came out in 2016, maybe it would have been impressive for the time. But by 2025 standards, the novelty of pushing a button with my hand or being underwater in VR and not drowning, it's just not enough anymore. But I do want to thank the devs for providing this review copy. I finished Beyond Blue in just 90 minutes and it costs $15, and there really isn't much of a reason to replay it. And if that's all you need to know and don't see a reason why to watch the video any longer, I get it. But hey, if you're still here, I'll tell you about it quick. You play as a marine biologist who dives under the water to repair some research equipment, after a surprise storm damaged it. And what follows is a very generic story of evil corporation destroying ocean for profits.
Indeed.
On the redeeming side, the game is well voice acted, and it is kind of relaxing to play. It's also just teeming with ocean wildlife, and it is pretty cool to see them swimming around and to kind of take it all in. The game also controls well and is fairly jank-free. But as VR consumers, we should demand more than just controls that work. Actual, meaningful gameplay is important. And this is where Beyond Blue sinks to the bottom. You're mostly just spoon-fed task after task through dialogue and heavy-handed waypoints, and those tasks are not that thought-provoking. Swim over here, pick up some stuff, push a button, turn a valve, spray healing goo on sick wildlife, scan some stuff, and fix broken stuff, which amounts to nothing more than just point and click or tracing lines. This isn't a puzzle game. Even if it tried to be a puzzle game, I wouldn't consider it one. The only thing puzzling about it is why some of these puzzle-looking elements even exist. Take this number pad, for example. As you can see clearly, there's the combination for it right next to it. Why does this even exist? It serves no purpose and has no creativity. It's not a tutorial for greater puzzles down the line. You just push a few buttons and move on. And there are other kind of similar examples to this in the game's 90-minute runtime, and it just felt boring and uncreative. They did try to shake up the gameplay by giving you a second robot character to play as, and you can easily switch between them on the fly, but for me, this didn't add a ton of value to the game either. In fact, it just kind of slowed the game down even more because oftentimes you have to swim to the same destination twice, just this time with the correct character, which I found annoying. I think they tried to make it feel a bit like a self-co-op, but feels underdeveloped. But I did enjoy the concept of how to deal with the one enemy type that is in the game. You stun them with the robot, and then the diver attaches a giant balloon to them and then floats them to the surface. It's kind of a novel idea and certainly kind of fun for an underwater game, but the mechanics just aren't really deep enough for it to be all that enjoyable. And speaking of which, menus and text appear in the game world in ways that, quite frankly, just break immersion. They pop up quite a lot when you scan stuff, which is a fair amount of the time.
Let's see what the data says.
And right from the main menu, it was also very obvious that Beyond Blue needed a resolution bump, as stuff just looked a little jagged and soft, and it certainly doesn't run at native Quest 3 resolution, but Quest Game Optimizer to the rescue. The art style, however, is quite charming, and I can see ocean lovers enjoying the wildlife. But if you go to touch that wildlife, your hand just kind of clips right through it, which is a shame, because the first thing everyone's going to do in this game is swim up to a school of fish or a dolphin and try to pet it. There are some in-game documentaries that you unlock for progressing in the story, which are educational in purpose, and they aren't all too long. But the video player lacks even the most basic of functions, and for me, it kind of confirmed that this whole experience is more of an interactive PSA instead of a game. So I think it's safe to say that I'm just not really the target audience for this one. Beyond Blue may very well be your jam, but for me, it's a $15 purchase that can be completed in 90 minutes with extremely basic VR mechanics and even more basic gameplay, and it has zero replay value. So based on that, I cannot recommend it. And that, everyone, was my experience with Beyond Blue After the Storm. If you found this review helpful, let me know in the comments down below. I review a lot of games on this channel, so to see that future content, press subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.